my name is Paristu Imami, and I'm the host of The Road to Success for Your Highly Sensitive Child. This podcast is about empowering parents of highly sensitive children to nurture their child's unique personality trait and create a path to success. Our podcast provides guidance, insights, and support to help you unlock your child's full potential, fostering resilience, confidence, and a bright future. If you're new to my podcast, please go back and listen to episodes 1 and 2 because they provide information on high sensitivity that all subsequent episodes will build upon. To book a private coaching session with me, please visit my website at parentinghsc.com. Today's episode is about highly sensitive youth. 9 things you must discover about a job of interest to avoid a regrettable choice with my guest, Mr. DuSold. Jay is a next-gen career guide, motivational speaker, author, and a career readiness consultant. Jay has spent decades working with teens and parents as a mentor and life coach. He started focusing exclusively on career guidance in 2014 after helping his son figure out a career fit while still a junior in high school. As a next-gen career guide, he helps young people around the world discover how they are wired for work and identify a true job fit so they'll be successful, motivated, and fulfilled in their careers. As a youth motivational speaker, he inspires emerging young adults to think differently about their identity, true success, and reaching their full potential. As an author and career readiness consultant, Jay provides guidance and resources to schools and organizations who want to maximize their career guidance efforts. This is a continuation of the previous episode. I hope you find this helpful. Thanks for listening. And I just want to reiterate the part about the strength and weaknesses. A lot of times people tell me, oh, well, you can't not focus on the weaknesses. You have to focus on them. And I say, why? You should know your weaknesses. But why do you need to keep telling your child what their weakness is? Why?
Yes.
What does that do for you? How does that improve something with your child? It won't. It would bring their confidence level down even lower than it already is. But what happens when you hone in on their strengths and keep complimenting them on their strengths? Not fake compliments, because highly sensitive people will pick up your energy. It's not just they pick up your words, they pick up your energy, they pick up the words, they pick up on the tone of your voice, the type of words that you use. They're very, they're processing things at a very deep level. So just imagine if you constantly tell someone about their weakness because you want them to improve, but then what if you accepted those weaknesses in them and then now concentrated on their strengths?
Yep.
For example, a child who doesn't like to clean their room and has a messy room. I tell my clients, let it be. Let it be messy. Because guess what? If they're messy like that, that means that they're extremely creative people. And they don't want to spend their time organizing their rooms and stuff like that because their mind is all focused about their drawings and their paintings and whatever creativity that they have. Now, a lot of highly sensitive people are organized, so you will see that the room is meticulously organized. But that's because they have a different type of, their brain is wired differently, and they need that to survive. And like me, like if I have if my surrounding is chaotic, there's no way I can live my life. I mean, I can't. My brain would then be just as the same way as my surrounding. Whereas if my surrounding is nice and clean and tidy and, organized and exactly how I like things, then my brain will also be like that. It's so funny, the correlation with my brain and my surroundings is just fascinating. So I think that it's really important for people to know that you do need to really focus on the strengths of your children and just keep focusing on it until that becomes their subject matter expert
Mm-hmm.
because that's inherent in them and it's easy to do and it's so beneficial in so many ways.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. Well said.
Thank you. I love how we are so aligned with each other. It's really
Mhm.
cool. It's so nice to know that somebody else has the same mindset.
For sure. Yes. Yeah.
Um, And then the other thing, I know that you said that you don't typically work with adults because you want to save your time for the
Mhm.
children. I'm the same way. I don't typically work with adults. However, lately I've been really working with all kinds of adults, like
Wow.
couples and just adults that have no children. So it's fascinating. I guess, the universe wants you to help people that need our
Mhm.
help. So yeah, I'm willing to do that. And it sounds like you are as well.
Absolutely.
Um, and I think that a lot of young adults, I mean, past the college years, still can use your help. Like I have
Mhm.
someone in mind that I want to refer to you already based on our
Mhm.
conversation today. Um, the other thing that I wanted to just maybe tap, since we have a little bit more time, is cover is um, so if, I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but if you could dive into it a little bit more. So, for example, I know my niece, for example, um, she wants to work on um, not necessarily in like being a doctor, but more of a doctor, but more on the research side to find a cure for cancer.
Mhm. Okay.
So if somebody comes with that kind of passion,
Mhm.
and then you can still work with them because you can say you like you said earlier, you'll still say, okay, that's great. Let's see if you have all these 9 aspects that we talked about, if that's going to be a great fit
Mhm.
for you, career wise. What can you walk us through that? Like when somebody like my niece, for example, knows what they want to do and they're very passionate about it. How does how do you work with that type of a person?
Yeah, it's great. Great question. So if someone comes into the process and they're like, "Hey, like I got a great passion for this," um, the best thing that I do with them is make sure that they have a thorough awareness of what's actually involved. So
Mhm.
a great starting point would be coaching them through discovering those 9 things, the deep reflection on each to really get a sense of whether or not they feel okay with those 9 areas. And then, of course, setting them up for additional exploration, things like the shadowing,
Oh,
like the
yeah.
informational interviews, right?
Yeah.
So if at the end of the day the client says, yeah, based on all this, I feel really good about it. I, I would basically bring him to that endpoint and then say, okay, like we don't really know if it's a fit because you don't know the full aspects of your wiring. Your emotional level of feeling it's going to be okay is solid. You're feeling good about it. And I would just encourage them to say, let's do some more work together. Let's understand your wiring from objective evidence, not your subjective feelings.
Yes, yes.
And
So
so
you
then
would
we would,
use that tool.
yeah, it's correct. Then we
Yeah.
would shift to use the tool to say, okay, let's really get an understanding of how you're wired based on your
Right.
patterns, repeated behavior. And
Mm-hmm.
and then we can really see, oh yeah, okay, yeah, this is actually a true fit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would always want to start with like if they really felt passionate and then just kind of make sure they had a full awareness and then just offer at the end of that, if you want to go forward with this, I can't validate that it's a fit. I know you feel good about it, but I can't personally as a
Yeah.
professional, as a coach, validate that. And some students, that's all they want. They just want to really understand it and they're like, no, I'm good. I feel good about it. Okay, great. a lot of times what happens is a student will go through that level of fact finding with me, and then they'll say, oh man, actually, this is not what I want to do because of the discoveries I made. And then they often will say something like, well, that was my best effort to kind of come up with something. Now I'm back to zero ideas. I don't really know what to do. And then they need to jump into the fit finding coaching so we can actually come up with something that is a match for them. So I really try to meet the student where they're at so
Yeah.
that we're starting at a point, we could either start with the job of interest already, or we can start with who they are and their wiring.
Yeah.
Either one is okay to start with.
Yeah, and that's wonderful that you can help them, like, because I know that when I decided to quit law school because I realized it's not a good fit for me, I was so lost. Like, I didn't
Yes.
know, I
Mhm.
had my bachelor's degree already, but I wanted to get a master's degree at the very minimum.
Mhm.
And I didn't know what to study at that point. And I was
Mhm. Exactly.
so
Yep.
lost because all my life I talked about, and I told everyone since I was like a little girl, I would tell
Wow.
everyone, I'm
Wow.
going to be an attorney. I'm going to be an
Yeah.
attorney. And and then when just because of the fact that I was working at, I think I ended up getting a job. Yeah, so I think what happened, this is so long ago that I have to think about it. I think what ended up happening is because I was working at Sun Microsystems, and they offered to pay for my
Mhm.
education,
Mhm. Mhm.
fully pay for my education if I got
Wow.
straight A's. And then I decided to go and study IT or information systems actually,
Okay.
because I was working at a technical company. So that's how I ended up doing my master's program. It just happened to be, oh, well, I'm working at Sun Microsystems. Well, they're a high-tech company, so I'll go get a high-tech,
Yeah. Yep.
my master's in high-tech, because I didn't want to get a business degree because I already had a business degree. It would be just a repeat of everything that I had learned, so it didn't make any sense. But it's really nice to know because I know how it feels when you don't have a clue of, oh, I can't follow this thing that I thought about since I was a little girl. Now what?
Exactly. Yep.
Nice that you can help them with
hmm
discovering what their next step should be.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Before we wrap up, any parting thoughts? Do you want to tell us about your Facebook?
Yeah. So I have a community for parents. It's on Facebook. It's called Life After 12th, Life After 12th. Every social media platform I'm on is the same thing, and my website is lifeafter12th.com. But yeah, I would love to invite your audience into that community. We
Yeah,
do, I
absolutely.
mean, almost every day there's stuff going on. I do training. We work off of a monthly theme. And
Mhm.
so I do videos, every week that are about the themes. The themes are related to career guidance, reaching your full potential. The theme for January is mindset, how to help our kids overcome false negative limiting beliefs, because
Wow.
that is a huge issue for young people that parents can actually have a big role in,
Oh,
in
yes.
helping with.
Yes.
So that is the kind of themes that we do, stuff related to reaching full potential or specifically career direction and figuring things out. So yeah, I would love to have your audience come and join that group. Everything is free. I give away lots of resources, and
Nice.
yeah, so that would be awesome for them to come and join us.
Yeah. Yeah, please, audience, listeners, please go ahead and join the Facebook group. I know I'm going to go join it myself.
Yeah, wead love to have you,
Even,
of course.
even I can learn a lot to be able to also help my or clients. And it's just been such a pleasure. I have learned so much from you in this session myself, and I have so many people that I'm already thinking that could definitely benefit from from your coaching and consultation services. I'm really grateful that you also have a course. So some people that may not be able to do a one-on-one session with you can still benefit from
Absolutely.
your
Yes.
amazing
Yes.
work. So thank you for sharing that with us. And again, thank you so much for making the time to be as a on our, you know, I can't speak today. I'm sorry to be a guest on my podcast. Sometimes this happens to me. Sometimes I can't, the words don't want to come out of my mouth. But you guys can laugh at me about for it. But yeah, so thank you, Jay. You've been so
Yes.
amazing. I've really enjoyed talking to you today, and I've learned so much from this session myself. And I know that my listeners have learned a lot too. So thank you so much.
It was great to be here, Parasu. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate everyone who stayed tuned in and listened. Thank you. If there's any way I can serve you, please reach out. I think there'll be different links in the show notes. So I would love to hear from you. Please reach out. And again, thank you for the opportunity to spend this time with your audience. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jay. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to remind you that you have the power to create a bright and successful future for your highly sensitive child. Embrace their uniqueness, nurture their strengths, and provide them with the love and support they need. Together, we can have a path to success that aligns with their sensitivity. Thank you for joining us today, and remember, you're not alone on this journey. We'll be here with more insights and inspiration in our next episode. Until then, keep believing in your child's potential because they truly are extraordinary. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and stay committed to setting your child up for success in life. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, please leave a review. Share with other parents and reach out to us with any topics you'd like us to cover in the future. To book a private coaching session with me, please visit my website at parentinghsc.com.